Hello and welcome to Chat with Kari. I'm your host, Kari Lane, and I am super excited because IFFLA is back this year for its 20th anniversary. The Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles is approaching real soon, and we at Diya TV are super excited because we've been a media sponsor for over a decade. We're glad to be back again. And joining me today are the co-directors of programming, Thuli and Ritesh. Welcome and thank you for joining me.
Hi, Kari. Thank you so much for having us. It's
Hi,
wonderful.
Kari. Thank you for having us. So excited.
Yes. So 20th anniversary of IFFLA. How does it feel to be involved in the monumentous occasion and the process of choosing the films this year?
It feels very exciting. It feels nerve-wracking, and it also feels really emotional. We've been deprived of this for so long, being together, gathering together, experiencing cinema together. And I really believe in the power of that act. And I grew up with, it was like nothing, going to the movies. That's what you just did all the time. And now gathering inside, together with other people and watching a movie together in the theater, it almost feels revolutionary. I'm actually quite emotional about this festival. It means a great deal to be taking also this position this year with Ritesh as co-director of programming. It's been a fantastic experience so far.
Yeah, I second everything Tuli said. I feel like I've grown up with IFFLA. I've been with IFFLA as I started off as a screener in the programming team, and like we had 5 years in which we were in like a physical festival, and then as I was kind of going, going up the ranks in the programming team, which has just been such a joyful experience. The pandemic hit, so as Tuli said, like we're definitely very emotional, very excited to meet people again, to go back to our beloved Regal downtown, and have all the movies play, and really get a sense of what like community gathering feels like again. If the feeling of not just being, because when we watch movies in theaters, for those of us who have begun watching, we're still individual people inside a movie theater. But at film festivals, we're a community, and people often know each other, or we have common identities, affiliations, and fandoms. So that's an extra layer of excitement.
Absolutely. Yeah, the energy of being in the theater with an audience is just something you can't quite replicate unless it's in person. So this year there are 26 films, 10 features, 16 shorts. Tell me about the process of how you make that kind of selection. And was there any sort of theme that came up this year? Thuli?
Yeah, it was this year. We at the beginning of the year, we didn't really know what to expect coming out of the pandemic. We had no idea, how many submissions we would receive, kind of how the whole thing was going to go. And we were actually amazed. We had much more submissions than we've had previous years. And the caliber of the films was just outstanding. And it was a really hard process. And it's not to decide on this program. It's not just me and Ritesh. Obviously, we have a large team of people from our screeners, and we're totally indebted to them for the hard work they're doing. And then we had two amazing collaborators in India. Uma Dakunha, who's been with the festival since its inception. She's a consultant with us in India. We have Namrata Joshi, a brilliant journalist and film critic and programmer, and Vedatri Chowdhury joining us this year from New York. And Robert Torres, programming coordinator and also associate programmer. So it was the highlight of the week were the programming meetings where all of us would gather, via the screen here and just talk about every single movie. And we all love talking about movies. And it was a very passionate and rigorous process, going through all the films that were submitted to us and discussing them. and making the final curation. And we're so proud of this program. It truly, obviously, like, IFFLA is a highly curated program. It's 4 days, so it's very hard to kind of and with just like the right amount of movies that can fit in these 4 days, and have a diverse program and all that stuff. So there's definitely hard decisions that had to be made constantly, and for these type of group, these decisions were also painful, kind of selecting among your babies or something. But the program we have, it's absolutely fantastic, and I feel tremendously proud of the entire team and the work we did, and we can't wait for the audiences to experience and discover these films, and feel the thrill that we felt when we watched them, and when we started talking about them. Ritesh?
Yeah, I'll just add, I again second everything that Tuli said, but what's interesting is that like we spent like from December through February, March, every week talking with all these wonderful folks that Tuli mentioned. And some of these folks have worked on other festivals, and what they tell us is that at IFFLA, we actually take time to talk about every film, even the films that everyone likes, which in other festival teams, apparently, if everyone seems to like a film, they don't really discuss it. But we feel that we're not just cinephiles, but we're also, I don't know, students in some sense, and we're learning from each other, and we're really hungry for each other's views. And I think that process of constant curiosity about each other's views and background and how they inflect the way we see a film really energizes Tuli and myself. And I think that helps us really put together this highly curated program. So I think that's what distinguishes us from other programming teams, is this high attention to detail. And like we will sometimes argue about the 45 minutes for a 3-minute film as well. So that's part of like the pain that Tuli talked about. But with the pain, there's always an accompanying joy. And in terms of themes, you asked us, I don't know if we look for themes as such, but one new section that we did have this year is the Spotlight on South Asia. And that's kind of expanding our footprint, kind of just being very expressively inclusive. And the way we kind of decided to do that is to kind of still maintain our curatorial rigor. And we looked at a whole bunch of films from Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and I think what we have are 6 really fantastic films, one feature called Rehana from Bangladesh, and a shorts program consisting of 5 shorts. And I think all of this programming process, we were looking at films from India and the Indian diaspora, but this year we're celebrating South Asia and the South Asian diaspora, and we're kind of aligning IFFLA with that.
Nice. Yeah, I love the more films to watch, more to enjoy. Also, you mentioned different films coming out. So there are some North American premieres. Why don't you tell me about some of the premieres viewers have to look forward to? Tuli?
Sure, I can talk about...
Or Ritesh, yeah.
I'll talk about maybe our world premiere, and Tuli, you can talk about a couple of our North American premieres. So our world premiere is this, I'm talking about just features right now. We have 5 in total, including 4 shorts, but the feature world premiere is this Punjabi film called Jaggi, and the director is Anmol Sidhu. And this was, I have to say, a true IFFLA discovery. I don't think most people had heard about this film before, and we're super excited to be having the honor to kind of premiere it. It's about, it's a very dark tale, the kind of story that you don't see, set in rural Punjab, and it's about a high school kid who discovers that he is impotent, but at school he's mislabeled as gay, and then this begins for him a very painful cycle of abuse and exploitation, and the film basically follows him through adulthood to see how he copes with this. And what we loved about this is how honest the filmmaker and the lead actor were. Everyone on the team responded to the rawness of the filmmaking, and this is a theme about toxic masculinity being portrayed from a part of India which is known for its like popular cultural iconic image of masculinity. This film kind of kind of throws that on its head. And we're very excited for the audience to discover this film. It's a very exciting filmmaker. And I will say it's like, don't go in expecting something light because it isn't. But if you give yourself to this film, it's very, it engenders a lot of conversation.
One of the North American premieres that I'm extremely looking forward to is a film called Pedro. It's a Canada film, and it's a debut filmmaker, Nates Hedge. And by watching the film, you would never believe that this is a debut feature. The film is so masterfully directed and so sophisticated. And at the heart of the movie is Pedro, who is a reclusive electrician. And just all it takes is like one mistake that he does one night when he's in a drunken stupor to unearth all the tremendous prejudice, all the dark side of this quiet rural community in Karnataka. The main character is played by the director's father, so that adds an extra layer of beauty to the film, and he has like a phenomenal he does a phenomenal job with in his performance. You would never tell that he's not an actor. So this is a movie that premieres in North America here at IFFLA, and I'm so excited for our audiences to catch it. And the movie is on Saturday. Do you remember what time, Ritesh, to give
It's
the
at 2:30 on Saturday, and
2:30.
Jaggi is at 7:45 on Saturday.
And then as North American premieres, the other film I'm extremely excited about is Shoebox. Again, a debut filmmaker, Faraz Ali, and co-writer and producer is Nupur Sinha. And the movie is, I don't know, it's such a joyful, vibrant coming of age story of a young woman who returns to her home in Allahabad to take care of her ailing father. So it is, on the one hand, it is this intimate coming of age story of this woman coming to terms with her father's mortality, but at the same time, it's a very vibrant portrait of the city of Allahabad in violent transition. The city is changing, is being stripped of its name. Everything that has to do with its secular history is being torn to the ground, including what's in jeopardy is the single screen movie house that her father proudly has owned for lots of years. It's a wonderfully alive film, and very layered, and it features a phenomenal performance by Amrita Bakshi, who is another talent to watch. She's an incredible actress in the film, but she also is at the festival with her debut short film, Succulent. So she's a multi-talented person. And Succulent is another. I believe it's a North American premiere, Succulent as well, and it's a short film set in a dystopian future, one that I wouldn't want to live in, where any sort of affection with intimate people that are no longer part of your life, either whether they're dead or they don't answer your phone call or whatever, you can actually hire an agency who brings a proxy to your house, who becomes this person for you. So that's the world of Succulent, and it's a very unusual, dark, but also funny, and just a stellar debut short by Amrita Bakshi.
Now, you have mentioned debuts, you have new filmmakers, but another thing that I saw on the program that sounds very exciting is celebrating the 20th anniversary is showcasing some films from the past 2 decades. If you want to talk a little bit about that new shorts program that will be part of the overall program.
Yeah, sure. So I can talk about the new filmmakers. So what we're doing is, the 20th anniversary is an extremely exciting event. I've been with the festival only for like 6 years, and I feel like I'm still learning a lot about our wonderful history. Because Christina Maruda, who founded the festival, she's been with the festival since 2003, and we've had in Los Angeles in the past 2 decades a wealth of relationships, including yourself, Kari. And I think what we wanted to do is we wanted to have a way to honor these works. So we've partnered with New Filmmakers Los Angeles a weekend before the festival, which is this Saturday on the 23rd of April. We have we're going to be part of their monthly film festival, and this month the theme is Asian cinema, and we have a curated shorts program with 6 shorts of our alumni filmmakers from 2006 all the way until 2022, actually. And you know, the way we went about that program is we wanted to kind of have our local alumni attend. So we have 4 films from local alumni that are going to be playing there, and that's part of that's part of the alumni shorts celebration. And I'll let Tuli talk about the virtual aspect of that.
Sure. So for the days of the festival, we're going to have the audience will be able to watch virtually online, stream online 20 short films from the vaults of IFFLA, and it's really exciting to have these films, very beloved films. For a lot of people will be able to enjoy them again, and a lot of people, for them, it's going to be a brand new discovery. So that's a way for us to celebrate our remarkable alumni. Like being around for 20 years, it's a pretty big deal, and you create, we've created like an amazing family of extremely talented filmmakers, and bringing them all together to celebrate their work and celebrate IFFLA's history, and be together now and look into the future. That is what this 20th anniversary program is meant to be.
All right. And then another alumni aspect too is the bookends of the festival, as well as some special new news that you were going to be mentioning. So why don't you talk about the opening night gala film, how it's closing, and then something else that's special towards the end of the festival?
Sure. So we're so excited to welcome back Panna Lin, a very beloved IFFLA alum. We've played, this is the 4th time he's here at the festival. The last time he was here was with Angry Indian Goddesses a few years ago. And his is a beautiful, beautiful film that is very fitting because it talks about cinema and the joy of cinema. It's about a young boy in Gujarat, and he discovers cinema in a movie theater for the very first time in his life, and he becomes infatuated by that, and he forms a friendship with the projectionist at the cinema, and he exchanges his the lunches that his mom very meticulously and beautifully puts together to have like a front row seat at the movies. And he gets in trouble, and there's lots of adventure, and it's cinematically, this movie is just like stunning, and it's very celebratory. So we're starting the program on the 28th at Harmony Gold with Panna Lin. And for closing, you want to talk, Ritesh, a little bit about closing?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about our closing gala. We're doing something quite different. We decided to have a community event, kind of to go back to the idea that we talked about earlier, how we're really missing community gathering and the idea of discovering something together as a community. And also, the last 4 or 5 years has seen an explosion of South Asian talent, not just on like the global festival circuit, but also right here in Los Angeles. There's so many wonderful folks doing wonderful things, headlining TV shows. There's so much talent that we wanted to get the opportunity to kind of showcase some of these voices. And what we're doing for our closing gala is we're doing two live table reads and a special preview. One of them is of a feature. It's Khalil Maskati's feature. Ali Manko. Khalil is an alum of ours, and we kind of just discovered his feature when we attended his Zoom read in January, and we were like, "This is a feature. This is a story that we must highlight." It's basically the story that's close to Khalil's heart about. This young kid who is, he's from New Jersey, and the whole family has to grapple with the death of a relative in India whom they know very little about, and because they need to grapple with it, they take a road trip across New Jersey and kind of bring in all the cousins to figure out what went wrong and what secrets are the family harboring. So that's going to be a fantastic live table read consisting of 14 of LA's most upcoming actors. It's directed by Fauzia Mirza, and I can mention some names of the cast. It's Rizwan Manji, Nabil Maskatwala, Piyar Shah, Rupak Jain, and Anna Khaja, just name a few. That's going to be very exciting. I think it's going to be a very electric reading because we know the power of that story. The second project we're previewing, and that is supported by Warner Brothers Discovery 150, and it's Nimisha Mukherjee's project it's an episodic project called New Country. And the logline is very simple. An Indian American medical student in 1989 decides that they want to be a country music star. So it's a project that we're gonna provide a slight preview to, and it's also going to be a musical performance, which I think our audience will really appreciate. And then we will bookend the evening with the award ceremony, where we have a couple of special awards as well. So that's something that we're doing quite different this year. We decided, instead of going with a big ticket screening, we want to kind of invite and bring together community, because we want to be more than just a film festival that screens films. We want to actually do something that we need today, in the day of the pandemic, and after years of people sitting at home and watching movies, have this collective discovery moment. And I'll let Kari talk about the other one, the new news.
Yeah, the
the new
breaking
news,
news.
which goes perfectly with what you just said. In the same spirit, we have coming to the festival one of our very beloved alums, who is also one of the most exciting visionary filmmakers in independent Indian cinema. That's Anurag Kashyap. So he's coming for a master class. He's going to hold his master class on Saturday at 3 p.m. And the masterclass will be moderated by John Nine, senior programmer from Sundance, and that should be, this is not to be missed. It goes in the same spirit. Anurag, in addition to being an exceptional filmmaker, he's also part of his work, part of his life, is also mentoring younger filmmakers, training them or producing their films. People he believes in, bringing them close and giving back, to the next generation. So that is very fitting. Him coming this year to do the masterclass at 20 years of IFFLA. So we're super excited to be welcoming him.
And if you come to the masterclass, I'll say that we'll let Christina Maruda tell you the great origin story of how she met Anurag Kashyap. So for that, you'll have to come and listen to the masterclass.
Ooh, nice. I like it. Well, we've covered so much that's available that's going to be at the festival. For more information, visit indianfilmfestival.org. Thank you so much, Thuli and Ritesh, for talking with me. I hope everybody watching, go check out these films. The festival is an experience, and it's such a beautiful thing that we get to be back in person this year.
Thank you so much,
for having us. This was really wonderful.
Yes, thank you. And then for those of you watching, be sure to tune in on Friday. I will be having my friend Nitin here, who is the managing director for IFFLA, and we'll be talking a lot more about what's going on with IFFLA, the activities besides the films, and so much more. Also, be sure to tune in to Diya TV, because we will have all the festival coverage. I will be at the red carpet interviewing the filmmakers, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Kari Lane with Diya TV.